Hello everybody, John here, and this is the weekly weather briefing, June 30th, 2019. Well, this has been the story for quite some time that the middle part of the U.S. has had the busiest weather. You can see that again. Now, one difference between now and maybe a month ago is it's not nearly as widespread, the rainfall. But still, eastern Oklahoma, eastern Texas, Arkansas, Louisiana, parts of Kansas, those areas have been getting hard hit over a number of weeks. So soils are wet, rivers running high. Look over the western U.S. I am telling you there's been no rain whatsoever over this area. Southeast U.S., scattered showers and thunderstorms typical of summertime. But we certainly have a summertime pattern. Look at the dew points, well into the 70s. Now you might say, or might not, why is the dew point 74 to 77 in this region here? Well, soils have been so wet, we're getting somewhat of a feedback loop. We're pulling that moisture out of the soils, transporting it back to the atmosphere, and that's going to enhance the chances of rain. Now, because of the dew points, we also have temperature. Low temperatures are staying up warmer than usual. So we can see that over the last 24 hours, the overnight low temperature is as much as 15 degrees warmer than it was the day before. That's going to help raise soil temperatures as well. So over the last week, we had unusually cool air over the western U.S., scattered areas either a little bit above or a little bit below normal over the eastern U.S., with the exception of Florida, has really had a record setting in places heat wave, many days well above normal temperatures, including last week. It's most notable at Miami, where they've really had quite hot weather, especially over the last week. Now, as far as soil moisture goes, the greatest anomalies are in the Pacific Northwest with unusually dry weather, scattered areas of the Midwest, and I think I mentioned this last week, but compare this area here over the central Corn Belt with about a month ago. Well, this was all blue, so we are improving, getting less rain. It's still some heavy rain. It's going to still cause problems, but over 96% of the corn has been planted. And I think we're going to see some significant improvement over the next couple weeks with warmer temperatures and generally less rain. And I do say generally because some areas are going to get a lot of rain. And the positive is actually, when you look at further into the season, this has set a stage for not just the very top soil moisture, but subsurface soil moisture to support these crops as we go through the season. But we do have a lot of rivers still in flood. The black triangles are rivers in flood, and blue are rivers that are near bankful. Now, I mentioned how soils have warmed up. Take a look at over the last 2 weeks. This was on the 19th, and this is the current date. We've brought 70-degree readings over a large area here. That's going to really help the newly planted corn in these areas, along with the adequate soil moisture. Okay, so right now we're being dominated by this area of high pressure, and as we're into summer now, the jet stream is going to play a role, but it usually is up to the north. We can see it here well to the north. So anything that is in this light or no jet energy, the only thing that's going to trigger thunderstorms are going to be heating of the day, or if we get some kind of tropical disturbance. So we'd expect to see climatologically typical scattered showers and thunderstorms over the southeast U.S. Not much rain under this core of high pressure, but the area most likely to get precipitation is going to be along this jet stream boundary. And if we look forward here, what we see here is we see generally, look over the southern tier of the U.S. What we have right in here, you can see very light jet stream energy right through the period. On the other hand, take a look at this right here. We have this system digging through here as we get into the end of this week and nearing next week. This system digs through, and that actually digs out a bit of a trough in the jet stream, and that's going to bring some cooler air into the middle part of the U.S. And you can see that here. We start out quite warm, but as we go through, these are 5-day chunks. So this is the end of this week into next week. We bring this area of cooler air. Again, that's associated with that dip in the jet stream aloft. That brings it down into the southeast U.S. Now the Pacific Northwest, look at this. We're building heat in this area, and we're looking at unusually hot conditions in week 2 in this region. Likewise, on the East Coast, We start off with really unusually warm weather, but then that moderates as the cooler air pushes in. So where's going to be the heaviest precipitation this week? Well, like I said, right along the jet stream energy here, that looks like where we're going to have the heaviest precipitation, scattered precipitation over the southeast U.S., and not much at all again over the western U.S. Now, as far as the major rivers here, the Missouri and the Mississippi, I wanted to point out how small of area that this covers. Now, these rivers under this forecast rain, this is the forecast rain, these are running near bankful. So these will rise in some of the tributaries into the Mississippi, the far upper Mississippi, but without any other rain and with the river falling, this will attenuate. I don't think this rain is going to have much impact at all, either on the Missouri or on the Mississippi. Looking at the outlook here, look at this. 6 to 10 and 8 to 14, well over a large part of the middle U.S., it's looking like summertime temperatures are going to be held in check. Can't expect more than that this time of year. Unfortunately, the southeast U.S. into the mid-Atlantic, the heat looks like it's going to continue right through 2 weeks. Pacific Northwest, it looks like heat's going to continue right through the next 2 weeks. As far as precipitation, unusually dry over Texas. General area of above normal precipitation over the middle U.S. Too early to say exactly where that will be, the precipitation. I think it's going to end up with quite a few days of just a chance of precipitation in that 20 or 40% range. As far as severe storms outlooks goes, these are today, Monday, and Tuesday, and the 6 to 10 day risk of some heavy rain over the upper Midwest and unusually hot over the southeast U.S. So in summary, looks like some meso-type systems. These are these regional type systems over the upper Midwest, the western U.S. dry, and summer weather elsewhere. Hope you have a great 4th of July, and I will be talking with you again with a briefing next weekend. Take care.